What's up, everybody? So I want to talk about the previous extensive conversation, and I want to lay out what you actually observed. So individuals like that, so what they do is it's called gaslighting, but their game is a little more tactic. What they do is they start with one anchor point. So it started with I'm reborn with Jesus, and that is all I need to be, and I don't need to be anything else, right? But Jesus said, go in the closet and like pray, have your own relationship. But when you're in public or when you're in a community, there is a moral, social, civic order to partaking in that community, in that social construct, right? Because it's a construct, okay? It's a platform, right? So what these individuals have done is that they have played the card of my belief, and then what they do is they subject everyone else into their perception of reality, and then they stand on it. And if you try to argue with them, then they start Bible thumping you and beating you with the Bible, trying to act like you're supposed to be some kind of Jesus. Well, last I checked, Jesus said he brought a sword. Okay? And Jesus told Peter to put down the sword. And then Jesus told you not to be like those who parrot in public and say the same things. Jesus said, what? Go in a closet and have your relationship with your Father. But when you're in public, be what? What does it say? Harmless as doves, wise as serpents. Serpents, in that reference, are intelligent. They carry the double-edged sword of the mouth. They know good and evil. And they know when you got a little enslaver running around trying to enslave everybody into their multifaceted chimeric jurisdiction, because they have no idea how the structures or the different fathoms of law work. So then they just pile everything together and they want to apply one type of law. They want to apply closet my belief establishment of religion law into everybody's social order. And now all of a sudden everyone's enslaved because that's my religious belief. But if you're Christian, it's not, right? So if it's not, well, then it is. But then it's not. Well, how can it be and not be? And then this is the game, right? So then it became a nation. Well, Israel was a nation. That's Old Testament, which has to do with community law. And if you read the philosophy of the Brotherhood, that's what it says. It says, we grant Judaism community law, like community construct law. We grant Islam federations, chambers of commerce, commercial law, right? Admiralty law, right? We grant that. Like we acknowledge that. Yes, we acknowledge that you're not really good for anything except federations and commerce and associations. Muhammad did a really good job of getting you to pile your people together to create a mechanism of force. And Judaism did a really good job of Moses the lawgiver for the community. Jesus, on the other hand, brought individual rights and the power of assertion and to stand on your beliefs as one individual while everyone abandons you, which is the Bill of Rights, by the way, and the preamble. And that's the construct, right? So we're not dealing with one jurisdiction. We're dealing with three different religious foundational jurisdictions. And then, people got angry about the philosophy of the Brotherhood. And I said, what do you mean? We acknowledge that Judaism is the quote unquote Old Testament, but really Moses's Testament was good for the infrastructure of a multi-individual organization. We agree to that. There's no problem with that. So the Jews were happy. So Judaism was happy, right? And then we agreed that Islam is really good for like commercial, like World Trade Organization. We agree with that, right? And then we agreed that individuals, like they are like one human being's right to stand and be heard and petition for redress of grievance and have those rights. Like that's important. Like that's an important thing. If you're granted the capacity to do that, and we don't grant that to people who are outside of our organization unless there's a special circumstance. And we only grant it to people inside our organization once you have a property right, which no property rights have been issued because there are no property securities issued. We're still building that infrastructure. Therefore, the mission is an APPT mission and not an Our United Republic administrative property ownership mission or structure, NGO. Right? Two different things, okay? The people who are buying shares to support the founding of the next level so then they can get the property right, so they can get those trusts and they can get those things, and we are trying to build out that structure. So we agreed to all that. Unfortunately, I don't think that treaty that went to the Vatican and went to Islam and went to Judaism, when we acknowledged them, I don't think they realized that we didn't acknowledge them as a religion. We acknowledged them as a nation state because they had already given up their religion. So they no longer have a kingdom. They abandoned their kingdom. One went to the North American territory. One is a nation state in Europe, in Italy, and one went to be the state. The Mormons went to be the state. Islam went to be a nation state on the North American territory area. And as of the recording of the Grand Continental Union, or the Grand Union Continental Jurisdiction, for we the people and the individuals, we got the kingdom. And that's what we're building out, is the kingdom. America is a kingdom. That's what happened. Like, we kept the religion. We kicked out all the money. We kicked out all the territorial authority. We kicked out all the United States, like they're down on the land, and then or they are the land, right? United States is the supreme law of the land, and then the North American territory is on the land, and we took the kingdom religion at American common law and American canon law over the land. Like, I don't understand. You guys abandoned your religion, and now you're mad because nobody told you that when the American Moors filled out their trust and they went on to the land, they no longer were in the kingdom of heaven. So they abandoned religion. Now you're just another government. Nation state, by the way. So I don't understand what's wrong. And now the head of Islam, or the head of Iran, is angry because basically in the Western Hemisphere, Islam is just a nation state that abandoned its religion. It's no longer a religion, so it doesn't have privacy anymore, by the way. And if you read the philosophy of the Brotherhood, it acknowledged their treaty. It acknowledged what they did. It acknowledged everything. It acknowledged that they all abandoned their religion. I don't understand the problem. That's how it goes. You should really pay attention before you do things. Actions have consequences. God bless. Godspeed.